Adrien Agreste is no ordinary boy. He is perfect. Kind and caring, responsible, smart, athletically gifted, for the most part, bilingual, a musical prodigy, and, to top it all off, a famous model.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular.
He is unnaturally perfect in every way. Almost too perfect. And there's a very good reason why he's so perfect.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
Because he was designed that way. Yes, I'm gonna prove to you that Adrien is indeed a sentimonster. Let's begin.
You serious?
Before Emily Agreste passed, she had a very special power. This power came from what's called a miraculous, a magical charm that possesses the power to change their holders into animal-themed superhumans with the help of the Kwamis. Her Kwami was a peacock, and the peacock's power is to create sentient beings from strong emotions, as well as control them with an object filled with the uniq. And the uniq is basically what creates the sentient being. Sorry, forgot to add that. We know she used this power many times because it would eventually lead to her doom. But we don't know what she used it for. We can only speculate. And here's where the theory comes in. Due to issues with infertility, Emily wasn't able to conceive a child of her own, but all she ever wanted was to be a mother. Therefore, she decided to use this special ability to create the perfect, most beautiful little boy of her own. And the uniq that created him was split in two between her and her husband. She loved her son very much. He meant the world to her. But she and her husband were worried that the world was too brutal for their little boy. So in the end, they sheltered him and used the rings to make sure he listened and made the right choices. He didn't know what was best for him. They had to protect him because he wasn't like everyone else.
I will not have you outside in that dangerous world.
It's not dangerous, Father. I'm always stuck in here by myself. Why can't I go out and make friends just like everybody else?
Because you are not like everyone else. You are my son.
He was special, too good for this world. This boy was Adrien Agreste. Don't believe me yet? Fine. Here is some evidence that supports this theory. Throughout season 1 and 4, Adrien has failed time and time again to stand up to his father, even though he has expressed very clearly that he doesn't want to be a model or follow such a strict schedule. He wants more freedom and time to spend with his friends. In the episode Risk, Adrien tells Marinette that he feels like there's this invisible force holding him back from confronting his father. This invisible force could be the uniq's power over him. Out of all the things Adrien could be allergic to, it's feathers. And in every ad Adrien's filmed, feathers have always been involved. As well as in the end cards of many episodes, we can see Adrien near a feather. In Mega Leech, Adrien tried yet again to stand up to his father, but all Gabriel had to do was give him a command, and Adrien listened. All that passion was gone in his face. We also saw Gabriel fiddling with his ring afterwards, heavily insinuating that the ring had something to do with it. I mean, why would they show us that for no reason?
I don't know.
In Wishmaker, Adrien started questioning what he wanted to do with his life. He had never really thought about what he enjoys doing. He said that when he actually thinks about what he wants to do with his life, there's nothing. His mind is completely empty.
What the fuck?
And when it's revealed later on in the episode what his childhood dream was, he said this.
Live your childhood dream.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be what my parents wanted me to be.
You can see in the clip that this dream was developed while he was still a baby. How could he even know what desires and dreams were at such a young age? The only reason is because it was programmed in him from the moment he was born. The season 4 finale is what really solidified this theory for me. First, Gabriel gave Natalie his wife's ring and told her that if anything happened to him, she would look after Adrien. Why did he give her the ring? Obviously because that is the tool that's used to control Adrien. When Felix changes places with Adrien, he later tells Gabriel that he doesn't want to go on the trip. And you can see him panicking when he doesn't have the ring on his finger, because he has no control of Adrien.
All of you!
Daddy, chill.
Then later, Natalie tells him to go get in the car, and Felix, concealed as Adrien, immediately does as she says. It's not certain whether or not the rings have any power over Felix. He may have acted like it did because he knows the rings can control Adrien, but the bigger clue was how Gabriel reacted in this scene. It really scared him. When Strike Back was eliminated, Felix looked sad and said, "I'm sorry." At first, it seems like he's apologizing to Ladybug for betraying her, but he's actually saying it to the sentimonsters. This insinuates that Felix is also a sentimonster. In the episode Gabriel Agrest, Gabriel threatened Felix by saying he could make him disappear with a snap of his fingers. Felix was visibly shaken by this because he knows Gabriel has the Peacock Miraculous, and the user of the Peacock Miraculous can make sentimonsters disappear by snapping their fingers, regardless if they have the object holding the unlock. Felix obviously knows something about the Peacock Miraculous. How he knows remains a mystery, but it seems like he's aware of what he is. Felix also wanted the Butterfly Miraculous in exchange for all the other Miraculouses. I think the reason he wanted it is because it's the only thing that can threaten his existence. And Felix seems like the type of person that wouldn't want to be in anyone's control. It's also because he feels sympathy for his own kind. We saw that in Strike Back. I assume he doesn't want sentimonsters to carelessly be created and then later on destroyed, because he is one himself. He knows they can feel emotions and have their own desires, and that's why he sympathizes with them. Now, why am I talking about Felix? This video is about Adrien. Well, the reason is simple. If Felix is indeed a sentimonster, the chances of Adrien being one as well are very, very high. And that's it. But I'll make a separate video for Felix cause his whole story is too long to go over. Now back to Adrien. So there are many Miraculous fans who absolutely hate the idea of Adrien being a sentimonster because that makes him less of a human, I guess. But in reality, sentimonster or not, he is still a human. Even the show's creator says so. If you are designed to be a human, then you are one. Simple. You know what the only difference between Adrien and a normal human is? It's the fact that he is powerless against this thing. Gabriel is the reason why Adrien isn't entirely human. If he carried his own amok like Sentibug, then he would be free. We would see Adrien be 100% himself, and I honestly can't wait for that to happen. Now, the reason why I really hope this theory is true is because it would explain so much. So many plot holes, so many unfortunate events. like this, for example, it's just not in Adrien's nature to agree to this. And don't give me that BS excuse of, he was in emotional distress. No, I will not accept that. If Adrien's like this when Papa's not around, then he shouldn't be like this when he is around. I will only accept the fact that he had no other choice because of this stupid ring. I mean, if Chloe was able to not get akumatized, then Adrien should absolutely be capable of fighting it off. I mean, we're talking about the love of his life here. Another reason why I wanted to be real so bad is because it's interesting. It would add so much depth and mystery to the world of Miraculous. I mean, we've all heard of lore, right? And lore is very important to have in a franchise like this. But I feel like everything in Miraculous is so surface level. There's no mystery, no truly scary villains, and the protagonists are in many ways too perfect. If Adrien is a sentimonster and Gabriel and Emily controlled him like a puppet for most of his life because he was too perfect and they were afraid of the influence the outside world would have on him, then I mean, wouldn't that be so interesting for Adrien and Gabriel's storylines? And imagine what happens when Adrien finds out. I mean, think about the character development. Think about the existential crisis he would have. How would Marinette feel? She's been fighting sentimonsters and seen them as the enemy, but to find out the love of her life is one as well? Can you even imagine? It would be insane. And Miraculous needs something like this to build the lore and the mystery. It's just necessary at this point. The only counter-argument I can see is that Thomas Astruc has just been messing with us the entire time. He is actually notorious for misleading fans and joking around, but if this is a joke, this whole sentimonster thing is just him messing with us, I might just have a mental breakdown. Cause that would be so stupid. It's like they made us think the show would get interesting and then just said, psych! But let's not put that bad energy into the universe. Instead, I will be manifesting every day until season 5 is out. Manifesting that Adrien is a sentimonster and that it will be revealed in season 5. Anyways, I hope I convinced at least some of you guys that this is in fact true. And if you still don't believe me, then you're just being stubborn at this point. See you later in my next video.